often the youngest person in the room, I don't feel particularly comfortable lecturing people for a long period of time. I am Christopher Mitchell. I'm with the Institute for Local Self-Reliance. 4 paragraphs. I remember listening to the House Telecommunications Committee discuss the bill that created this task force. During that discussion, the sentiment among the representatives was to actually remove the term ultra high speed from the title because it would look foolish in the coming years when the speeds that we're discussing today were relatively slow. But when the legislation passed, that title was back. The task force was explicitly not conceived to discuss broadband. It was meant to discuss ultra high speed broadband. In a recent meeting when existing providers presented their services, only Comcast, in my opinion, so we're only talking about the metro area, discussed any sort of high-speed options. And while this is not unexpected in that the task force must absolutely understand what is presently available, I do hope that in coming meetings, the discussion will turn back to ultra-high speed. The reality for private providers is that offering ultra-high-speed services is a very expensive proposition in the metro region and a fantasy in rural areas. Private providers must make investments that are going to provide a solid return for investors. And we've dealt with this problem many times in the past. In those times, our elected leaders have recognized the only way to connect the entire country, in this case with electricity and phone service, was to encourage publicly owned infrastructure via cooperatives, utilities, and municipal systems in addition to the private sector. As we move forward, we must recognize that the private sector does not have the means or the incentive to provide the fastest available broadband everywhere in Minnesota. Local governments must be allowed to invest in the networks they need to drive economic development and take advantage of modern technology. Thank you.
Thank you.